The Oilers win, beating the Canucks 5-2 in their second game of the year. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the fact that I think that this game, compared to the last game, was a much greater positive. This game all around, I think, was good. There are still some questions I have with this team. Actually, there are still a lot of questions I have with this team, and we'll get to that. But a 5-2 win is a 5-2 win. Very good night for the Edmonton Oilers. Let's start off with a couple tweaks in the lines. In this game, no Tyler Ennis. He was unfit to play. So in comes Devon Shore, who was someone I didn't really talk about. He was signed to a $700,000 deal for 1 year, right before the season began, pretty much. My opinion on this, he's a good, reliable bottom six option, and I even tweeted it out. As long as he can do that and be competent enough at it, we should be fine. And the other change was that tonight, Mike Smith was supposed to play. Unfortunately, he didn't. For some reason, he was not even sitting on the bench behind Koskinen. Stuart Skinner was sitting there, who I should remind you is a goalie who in the AHL last year had an 891 save percentage and among the top 15 goalies in the AHL by games. So, out of the top 15 goalies by the amount of games they played, this man had the worst save percentage by a lot. The next nearest was about 900. So, yeah, that's concerning. But anyways, he didn't have to see the ice tonight, so it's okay. That being said, though, let's talk about the positives for this game. First things first, the big three: McDavid, Draisaitl, Nugent Hopkins played very well tonight. Draisaitl finished with 4 assists. I feel like he was around the ice. He was trying to disrupt play. He did a very good job on both ends of the ice tonight. Same thing with Connor McDavid. I think he had bright spots defensively, but I think the thing, obviously, for him to be remembered by from this game, the hat trick. The beautiful hat trick, I should mind you. All three of these goals, absolutely beautiful. The first one was a buzzer beater at the end of the first period, in which he just bats a rebound out from midair and scores. The second one was on the power play when Tyson Barrie gave him a nice little drop pass and he went end to end with a beautiful goal like he does. And the third one, he gets a feed from Draisaitl, who's behind the net, gets it, goes for a deke. He can't get it in the first time, chips it in the second, and gets his hat trick. He finishes with along with an assist. And Ryan Nugent Hopkins gets 2 goals and 1 assist out of this game. The first one coming on the power play, in which, again, just a nice little chippy goal. And the second one comes off of a nice play by Kale Yamamoto, who also had a really good game tonight. I know he took a penalty. He might have even took 2 penalties, but he still did play a very good game tonight. He looks at the play he has, and he's right in front of the net, and instead of shooting, he shoots for the stick of Nugent Hopkins, who just happens to be in the right position to bank it in. That being said, there was 5 goals let in tonight, and I am going to credit Vancouver here at the end. Don't let that take away from how Thatcher Demko did tonight. And like I said, I'm going to talk about Vancouver at the end, and every time that we're done wrapping up with one of these like 2-game series, I just want to talk about the opponent a little bit at the end. But when it comes to how we did on the bigger question mark was not the offense. It was the defense. How would this defense play? Would they care? The answer is yes. While tonight it was not a flawless game, we didn't get a shutout, this was a very good defensive performance from the Oilers, in my opinion. They were aggressive. They were putting in effort. They weren't lackadaisical out there. They weren't leaving people completely open. They did a lot better tonight, which does give me a lot of optimism that what we saw in that first game was just kind of first game jitters. They haven't played in a long time. The last time they played, they got absolutely destroyed by a Chicago Blackhawks team who were the 23rd best team in the league when they were the best Canadian team in the league. If I'm not mistaken, best Canadian team. But yeah, they looked really good tonight. I think another thing that should be mentioned about this team, and we'll get to special teams in a minute, but shot blocking, block shots everywhere. I loved it. The effort from everyone. Some of the blocks look clean. Jones and Cuckoo, I think, might have gotten a little banged up on blocks in the first period, but they are all good, and it seems like they just need to go get intermission, rest up a bit, come back, and they were good to go. Let's talk about special teams. The penalty kill, like it did in Game 1. Like I said in Game 1 of the season in last night, the one thing the Oilers did well, in my opinion, other than forechecking, which they did well tonight as well, the one thing they did well was penalty killing. They were really good at it. Tonight, they had to kill a lot of penalties, and they did a very good job at making it hard for the Canucks to get a lot of good shots. Now, mind you, a few of these incidents can be equated to the fact that Elias Pettersson's stick couldn't stop breaking. This game could easily be in overtime right now if his stick just wouldn't be, if it didn't break as many times as it did. But they did a good job penalty killing and gave Koskinen a good night. Which, by the way, final point here before I get to the power play. Man, I'm actually no. I'll talk about Koskinen after we talk about the power play, because I was very happy about the power play tonight. I was very happy. I came out here last night and I said my biggest problem with the Oilers' power play was Tyson Barrie, because he wouldn't pinch, because he wouldn't move. He would stand at the top and he wouldn't move. And while tonight he still did that a bit, he was moving. And when he was moving, the other thing I noticed was that once he started moving, everyone else started shifting. We started seeing a lot more shifting. We saw Draisaitl and McDavid shift in and out a couple times, switch positions. They did a much better job at moving, and I think maybe it wasn't kicked off by Barrie, but tonight Barrie was moving. He was, and that's what we need to see from him on the power play, because him in Game 1 just standing there was not doing enough. And tonight he also tried to take a couple shots on the power play. Like I said, he tried to pinch and he tried to shoot, which is what I wanted him to do, which is what I was pestering him about in that first game. I'm very happy to see that he started doing that. And Koskinen. Mikko Koskinen. Last night, he did not have the best game. I personally think it's the team in front of him. A lot of people wanted to pass blame to him. Tonight, I think he did prove a lot of doubters wrong. What did he face? 39, 40 shots, let in 2 goals. He faced a lot of good shots as well, made a couple of flying saves. He did very well. Very, very well for Mikko Koskinen tonight. And you can say what you want about him. At the end of the day, performances like this are the types of performances that show why I have faith in him. The reason I have faith in him is not because I think he's a star goalie. The reason I have faith in him is because I think that if you can put a good enough team in front of him, even if it's just a team that just plays well in front of him, you're fine. Like, for me, he's the type of goalie that if he were on the New York Islanders, he would be incredible. That's what I think of Mikko Koskinen. He can be inconsistent, and I feel like the past 2 games have shown that. But all in all, I've liked what I've seen out of Mikko Koskinen. Tonight, there's a little bit less excuses for the goals he let in. It's not as much on the defense. But still, he made 38 saves, and a lot of them, a good chunk of them were hard shots to save. But let's talk about the Canucks as well, because over the past couple of games, I've talked... last game, definitely, I talked mostly about the Oilers. Let's talk about the Canucks. I really like how they played. Don't get me wrong. Just because they didn't win this game doesn't mean they've been playing well. They've got another one in Nils Hoglander, I think it is. I don't... I always mess up on the pronunciation of that name. Hoglander, I think it is. But Nils is great. He looks like he's a nice piece. He's always moving. I like what he's doing on the Canucks power play as well. The top 6 is the top 6 for that team. It's good. Quinn Hughes is Quinn Hughes. Pettersson is Pettersson. Besser looks like he's back to goal-scoring Besser, which is going to be great for the Canucks. And Thatcher Demko, man. I know we let in 5 tonight, but I'm going to have him getting the same treatment I gave Koskinen the night before. I don't think it's fair for me to talk about how good Koskinen did last night with all the circumstances and not talk about Demko. Demko did very, very well tonight. He made a lot of good saves. In fact, I don't have my notes open, but I think it was the first period, if I'm not mistaken. I will just quickly check here. I wrote it down. Yes, so it was actually one of the first things I wrote down here. McDavid and Cassian both had good shots right off the bat in the first period, and Demko made some good saves. Cassian got the puck right on his stick and just sniped it, and Demko just made a great glove save. Puck bounces out to McDavid in the slot. He shoots it. Demko with another phenomenal save. It's moments like that. Demko played very well tonight, and I know Braden Holtby I know Holtby got the win, and he played well, but it's a matter of time, in my opinion, before Demko becomes the starting goaltender for the Vancouver Canucks. If the Canucks make the playoffs, I don't have them making the playoffs, but if they do make the playoffs, I fully believe and have full faith in them that they will be able to do, like, he will be the starter. He will definitely be the starter. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where the Canucks go tonight. After tonight, sorry, but yeah, like, I don't really got much more to say than that. Good job by Vancouver. Now, when we look at Edmonton, what's next for them? They're playing Montreal on Saturday night, hockey night in Canada. I don't know if I'll be able to watch that one right off the bat. I will be honest. I might have to be in a situation where I watch a replay of that one, just because I'm in a family of Leafs fans, and it's Saturday night hockey, and there's a Battle of Ontario, so there is a good chance I'm gonna be watching the Leafs game. I mean, I want to spend time with my family, so I'm probably gonna watch. I might end up watching the Leafs game. We're gonna have to see how we feel. But if I do, don't worry. You just won't get the review of the Edmonton Montreal game until the next day, and I will watch it over that night instead of watching the late cap, or I'll watch the game when it happens, and we'll go from there. So yes, that is all. I would like to thank you all for watching very much. What did you think of the Oilers? What did you think about the Canucks? Again, hats off to the Canucks. They played really well in this little 2-game series, and we get to see them 8 more times. That's the crazy thing about the schedule. Thank you all for watching this video. I will see you next time. Bye for now.